This is The Process Shot. I'm Michael, I'm stuck in a haunted movie theater, and I've seen Zoo, Warriors from the Magic Mountain, a martial arts fantasy epic from Hong Kong, 1983. Directed by Tsui Hark, it follows the journey of a young soldier who has deserted his post after being declared insubordinate out of confusion. Tired of the ongoing civil war, he comes across a martial arts master and seeks his assistance, only to be rebuked. Regardless, he tags along, helping out in a fight that unfortunately sees the beginning of the rebirth of the Blood Devil, whose power would threaten the safety of the world. While the soldier wants to dive headfirst into defeating the Blood Devil, his master has other things on his mind, as do many others who have the power to defeat the devil, leaving the young man to wonder what needs to be done to focus on more important matters. The story itself does feel a bit distracted at times, but that seems to be the general idea here. There's a clear disconnect between the primary stakes at play and the actions of the main characters, which is something that the soldier himself calls out, lamenting his supposed idols and their short-sightedness, going as far as to make it a point to say that it's up to the youth of the country to solve its problems. It's not a particularly deep theme, but the generation gap is made prevalent and explicitly illustrated at a few points as well. In a way, it's treated more in the sense of passing the torch from one generation to the next, and that the younger folk can see the forest for the trees and all that jazz. But, again, that's put in the backseat more often in favor of just pure fantasy storytelling, which is where the story absolutely thrives. It starts off in the midst of a war and only escalates the stakes and situations with every subsequent scene, almost exponentially so. It does plateau a bit near the end, but even so, the height that it reaches is far beyond what you might come to expect from a story like this, or at least based on where it begins. Either way, Warriors from the Magic Mountain openly celebrates how detached from any reality it becomes, most of all in its visual presentation. Widescreen cinematography captures all of the action as it happens, and in long takes that allow everything to play out in full, and thankfully the movie knows what it's doing in this regard. Elaborate set pieces give the world around characters a sense of immediacy and weight in where they are and what they do. Action choreography is absolutely top-notch, with very clean and swift movements that bring attention to artifice, but gives a mystical sense of professionalism, as if every weapon swing or hand gesture were calculated and necessary or built upon centuries of experience. It helps that the practical effects of the movie are timed almost perfectly with those movements, feeling unified and as though they are outright extensions of the characters and their actions. Editing is the final ingredient to this, keeping action flowing smoothly and clearly without hindering an audience's comprehension of events. It all comes together in a spectacle of classical fantasy and special effects, with a touch of a message to share, but otherwise it knows where and what to focus upon, that being a good old-fashioned story of good versus evil. Zoo, Warriors from the Magic Mountain. Tsui Hark, 1983. 4.5 stars. I definitely recommend seeing it whenever you can. That's it for the review. If you liked it, leave a like. If you have something to add, leave a comment. Subscribe to the channel for more reviews. I wish this theater would show more movies like this. Sometimes I just want to have fun, you know? At the very least, I want more crazy stunt work.